Welcome back, trainers. So Registeel is taking off tomorrow, and Regirock is rolling on in. So we're going to go over what you need to use to go up against it, the moves that it has, so you're going to be prepared come tomorrow or today, whatever time you're watching this video. Let's jump into it, see what we have going on. Okay, so here we are on the Go Hub. Going to check out its stats and its moves. Once we know what moves it has, then we'll be able to talk about the counters that you want to use. I'm also going to be maxing out my 100% IV Medicham here in just a minute. So Regirock, pure rock type. All right, now this is 100% IV. Once you've caught it, the CP potential is going to be 3087. Attack 178, defense 356, and stamina 160. Now, honestly, out of all of the Regis, I think this one is going to be pretty useful. Registeel is just kind of like, wham. It has a lot of resistances, but it's more of a gym dropper, but we can't drop it in a gym. So that's just out the window. Now, let's go ahead and take a look at the weaknesses. We have fighting, grass, ground, steel, and water type. Water is going to be one of your best. Fighting as well. Grass and ground, You can use your Groudons with Earthquake or Solar Beam. You can use your Metagross with Bullet Punch and Flash Cannon. But, you know, there's going to be other options if you're trying to do as much damage as you possibly can. It's resisting fire, flying, normal, and poison type. So let's go ahead and go over the moves. Nope, not counters. No, I don't want to look at those. So its best moveset while you're going up against it. You know, this can be subject to change. Possibly, I would say it's going to be Rock Smash and Zap Cannon, because you're more than likely going to be using water types. It looks like grass types are going to be the safest here. And Venusaur, in fact, is probably going to be one of your best counters because it is part poison type, which if it had a double fighting move, the Regirock, then that Venusaur would be resisting all of those moves. Machamp would be doing fairly well too, resisting those rock types. So yeah, it's looking easy. So the moves it has are Rock Throw and Rock Smash. Now the charge moves are going to be Stone Edge, Focus Blast, and Zap Cannon. Zap Cannon being the most threatening move, I would say, because if you're going to be using Kyogre, Gyarados, or any sort of water type, you better look out for that. Otherwise, everything looks pretty good. I'm happy it has a defense move like Zap Cannon, so it's not going to just be super simple every single time. Now, if you jump in with a bunch of people, obviously you're going to be able to do it, but if you have minimal, you got to rethink your strategy. So let's go ahead and jump into the app and look at the Pokemon, make a couple teams so you can see what I'm going to be working with and what you can possibly be picking as well. So let's check it out. All right, so let's go ahead and make two parties. One for Focus Blast and one for Zap Cannon. Actually, the Focus Blast is going to be with the Stone Edge as well. So let's go ahead and start with the harder moveset to go up against the Zap Cannon. Now, you can use Groudon. I would recommend Dragon Tail. No, sorry. Mudshot and Solar Beam. You can use Earthquake, but Solar Beam is doing more damage, depending on the weather. If you have, well, I mean, if it's sunny, then Solar Beam and Earthquake are going to be both boosted, but I recommend Solar Beam. So first up, you have your Groudon for Zap Cannon. Now, Kyogre is such a beast, it should be able to withstand a Zap Cannon from this thing, seeing that its attack is so low, but let's just pick other Pokemon for now so we can be on the safe side. Alright, so we do have the option to put in Metagross if you want to have fun with it. I'm going to pick 6 unique Pokemon. These are going to be your highest DPS. I mean, Metagross technically is going to be pretty good, you know, doing fairly alright damage. But as opposed to other things, I mean, you could pick, say, this might sound stupid, but a Rhydon with Mudshot and Earthquake, because it's going to be resisting that Zap Cannon, okay? You definitely do not want to pick Gyarados, seeing that it is water and flying type. Yeah, so you can go with Donphin with Counter and Earthquake. I currently have Play Rough, so I'm not going to put it in my set. I'm just going to make the recommendation for you. So Donphin works, especially if you have cloudy weather. It's going to be getting a boost on the counter, at least the counter, right? So you have to remember also that the Regirock will be boosted under partly cloudy weather and given for whatever moveset. If it's raining, then obviously Zap Cannon is boosted. Its rock moves will be boosted under partly cloudy though. All right. So next up, we'll put in Machamp. Probably could put him even first or second. These are not going to be in order from best to worst. I'm just going to go down the line from CP here as we keep moving down. So we have Machamp. That's going to be nice. So if you have a set of those, like a full 6, you could just use those, gay. As simple as that. Basically almost the same counters for Registeel. Not quite, but almost. So if you do have cloudy weather, I mean, the Machamps are just going to destroy it. All right, so let's continue on here. You have Scizor. You could use that. It's not going to be like the best option or anything. You also have this right here, Exeggutor. All right, so what is it going to be? Electric type moves are not going to be super effective to it, so that's actually going to be nice. It's going to be resisting those. So there's going to be a lot of counters you can use. I can throw in the Alolan Exeggutor. All right, I can put in, let's see, Vaporeon. Let's see, Sceptile. But here, I'm going to show you some. Venusaur is going to be one of those options that you want, because if it has, for its quick move, Rock Smash, it's not going to be very effective. And then Zap Cannon, not very effective. Stone Edge, not going to be doing much damage. All right, so it's going to be a good option. And Focus Blast, not very effective because it's poison type. So this is looking like a solid team. I'm just going to obviously pick 6 uniques. You could pick double of everything I'm putting on this list, or triple, or the whole team. If you have a 6-pack of Groudons, dang, congrats, that's amazing. All right, so you have Swampert. Because it is going to be part ground type, that is going to be a nice option. It's not going to be super effective to it, just going to kind of be neutral damage. It's not going to be doing the most damage around, but it's still going to be able to hold its own and hurt that raid boss. So I'm trying to see what else we can pick that's towards the top here. But grass is what you're probably going to want. You can even do this. There you go, Hariyama. There. I wanted 6 kind of different types. I put 2 grass, 2 fightings. But there you go for a general idea on Zap Cannon. There's plenty of options. I would go with grass types and then ground, so Groudon as well. And now let's go ahead and make the Focus Blast and Stone Edge team. Now if you have a lot of Kyogres, you're going to want to just line it up with those. And you're going to be good to go. Just Waterfall and Hydro Pump all day. Nothing to it. Okay? And followed up by, I would say, Gyarados, because if it did have Focus Blast, it's not going to be very effective. Stone Edge is going to hurt it, so you may actually not want to do that. So I'm actually gonna, I kind of want to throw in Groudon again, just because Stone Edge is not going to be very effective, and Focus Blast is just going to be neutral, and then that Solar Beam is just a killer. Not to mention you're going to be able to stay in that fight for a long time. All right, and I'm going to throw in the Ho-Oh in there with Steel Wing and Solar Beam. All right, so if these teams are, if you're like, what kind of a team is this? Who is going to want to use that? I'm just trying to give some ideas here. I could even switch up the Vaporeon with that Metagross there. Let's see what else we have here. You could even use a Lugia with Hydro Pump, but make sure it doesn't have Stone Edge, the Regirock, because that's going to be super effective to you. So, I mean, that's another tanky option there. The Venusaur is always going to be super good to use because it is part poison type. Alolan Exeggutor, Sceptile, Blaziken would even be good. It's going to be a Glass Cannon. Even this one right here. It's not going to be your highest damage output Pokemon, but it's still going to be able to, do super effective damage. But I honestly might want to go with Alolan Exeggutor or the regular Exeggutor, okay? And then, of course, a Machamp. You always want to use a Machamp. And then I'm just going to throw in Venusaur, because if it has Focus Blast, not very effective to Venusaur. Stone Edge, not doing that much damage. Now, if you're wondering, what am I going to use just straight up, if it has Zap Cannon, and say it's partly cloudy out, and none of the Pokemon here are getting a boost, then I'm going to go with this team here. Groudon with Mudshot, Solar Beam, and then the rest just Machamps. Now, if it is cloudy out, that means fighting types are going to get boosted. You're going to see all Machamps for Zap Cannon, period. That is what I'm going to use. Even, Venusaur, actually, if you have multiple Venusaurs with whatever quick move, and then the Community Day move, Frenzy Plant, even Solar Beam would probably be pretty good up against Zap Cannon because it's not going to be very effective because you're Grass type. But for me personally, I'm just going to go with Machamps all the way. And then the Groudons if it is partly cloudy out, because none of them are getting the boost. Now for Focus Blast, Kyogre straight up. The more you have, the better, okay? Simple as that. Followed up by Groudon, I suppose, or just more Machamps. That's just what I'm going to do. Literally, I'll use a Kyogre and then just Machamps. You could also use Venusaur. That's going to be another great option, and that's simple as that, okay? All right, trainers, so let's go ahead and check out that Medicham Powerup. Okay, so we're back on the Go Hub. We're going to take a look at their counter recommendations, no matter what moveset, just DPS-wise. And also, if you're wondering, why am I even maxing out a Medicham? Because for the future, for PvP, what have I discussed? You're going to want lower tier Pokemon if this is done right. And if not, then that's fine. I'm just going to have a 100% maxed out Medicham. So their counters. Number one is going to be Kyogre, Waterfall, and Hydro Pump. All right, we had that up on the list. That was obvious. Then we have Machamp with counter Dynamic Punch. Now, I feel a little bad about this one. Breloom, I did not put him in there, but that's okay. It's an obvious option with counter Dynamic Punch. Even Seed Bomb, but I would go with Dynamic Punch. It's going to be kind of a glass cannon, yeah, but it's going to be doing so much damage. All right, and then you have Hariyama, counter Dynamic Punch. The fighting types are ruling. And then you have Venusaur, Vine Whip, and Frenzy Plant. They're right, that's what I was talking about. Blaziken, counter and Focus Blast. Metagross, Bullet Punch and Flash Cannon. Mewtwo, Psycho Cut, Focus Blast. And you have Heracross, counter Close Combat. Gyarados, Waterfall and Hydro Pump. Groudon at the bottom with Mudshot and Solar Beam. So the reason why I was picking Groudon is if it did have the electric move, Zap Cannon, okay? Then you have Swampert, very nice, we recommended that, cool. And Vaporeon, Water Gun and Hydro Pump. Jirachi, Victory Bell, absolutely. Razor Leaf and Leaf Blade. And then we have Salamence, Dragon Tail, Hydro Pump, Dragonite, Steel Wing, Draco Meteor, Shiftery, Razor Leaf, Leaf Blade, Scizor, Furry Cutter, Iron Head. I do not agree with that. I think Bullet Punch, Iron Head, Waterfall, Hydro Pump, Omnistar, Water Gun, Hydro Pump, Starmie, Water Gun, Hydro Pump. Okay, and as you can see, the list goes on and on and on and on. Salamence is way down there. Yay. Steel Wing and Grass Knot for Mew. Interesting. All right, so there you go. Pretty nice list. Thank you, Go Hub. And there is the Medicham Powerup. So I hope you enjoyed this video, folks. And with that said, good luck tomorrow. And hopefully you can get a 100. Don't get too excited for Regirock now, trainers. And I'll be catching you all next time.